welcome back. I'm gonna kind of switch over to a little bit more chill of a vibe as I set the scene for us. If my browser would be good with me. Okay, so our story begins in Cork County, Colorado, a small mining town nestled into the side of the mountain. The town, though not exactly flourishing, is very self-sustained, and everyone here has a relatively comfortable life. Looming above the town on a ridge that overlooks it is something that is known to the older teens in town as Blood Tower, though most would just call it an abandoned transmission tower. A popular spot for meetups out of the prying eyes of the adults. From here, you can see almost everything in town, from Moon Lake to Sam's General Goods grocery store to Cork County Middle School. Go Corks! We'll put a cork in it. From up here, you can see the military base down the road and a small meteorite landmark nearby the base of the mountain. And you can even see the abandoned silver mine that was shut down after a horrific landslide about 15 years ago. Summer break has just begun. It's a Friday, and some of the kids in town are excited for the new Street Combat game that just came out. There's 10 whole characters to choose from. We go over to the Singh household on this Friday evening, a 2-story home that seems to have had an addition placed on the side of it. A large family is finishing up their dinner. A young girl is helping clear up the plates, while an older boy is taking out the trash. The 2 adults here, Mr. and Mrs. Singh, are planning out their summer schedules together with trips and time off, as well as coordinating summer activities their kids have signed up for. This home exemplifies a close familial bond, but it's not without its chaos. As everyone finishes up with their part of the household work, we go down the hall to a bedroom where we see a young boy on the bed, long curly dark hair. He's throwing a small bouncy ball against the wall and catching it, while on the other side of the room, his brother, who he shares it with, is getting ready for a sleepover at his friend Zack's house to try out this new Street Combat game. Kaz, would you mind describing Jason to us?
Yeah. Jason is a small little Indian boy. When at home, he tends to have his hair out, and and he's dressed up in very thick layers, like jumpers over just shirts, just so because it's always cold out here compared to back home, or where his family are from, India. He's the son of immigrants and is in a very big family of other of his siblings, and is one of the middle kids. When he's getting ready to go see his friends Zack and Seth, he starts tying up his hair up into a jura, which is a is baby's first turban, is the way it's described, and tying it up, wrapping it around, and it's like this little bun that is tied in a red cloth, and just gets ready to leave, throwing on his bag full of many random assorted items, just jostling about. He says bye to his brother and rushes out the house. To his parents, and then tells them bye because he can't, or they will have stern words.
As you're leaving, though, Mrs. Singh kind of stops you at the door. She says, "Jasdeep, make sure you don't stay up too late.
Mm-hmm.
Be respectful to Zack's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat too much junk food.
Yes, Ma.
Don't talk to strangers," she says, knowing
Never.
full well that much of the people in town know everyone else fairly well. Like, there's not a lot of strangers that you would even really run into. You head out. You grab your bike, I assume. What does your bike look like?
I'd rush out, love you, Ma, love you, Pa, and then I'd rush out and grabbing a very old hand-me-down bike that was from one of his older brothers. It's pretty beat up, but like his brothers and or one of his sisters is pretty good at like pretty handy. So they've like done it up, painted it red as well. Some of the paint's chipping in places, but it's for how old it is, it's pretty good condition. It's also got a little basket on the front.
Yeah, so you begin heading down the road. It's about a 10-minute bike ride, and as you start biking, after about 5 minutes, we see another house. This house belongs to the Wessels. The Wessels household is a one-story bungalow. There's a swing set in the backyard with the paint peeling off of it from wear and tear. There's a one-car garage at the side that is mostly filled with outdoor toys for a young girl, but also has a barely used basketball net and a bit of sports equipment that is gently used. Inside the home, we see a woman in her early 40s, curly brown hair, nicely manicured nails, wearing a pink blouse tucked into high-waisted jeans. She's watching a movie with a young girl about 5 years of age who has fallen asleep on the couch. On the table, in front of the couch, is an array of snack foods. It appears to be a nice, quiet family movie night. However, in a room down the hallway is a 14-year-old boy getting ready for a sleepover at his friend's house. Michelle, can you describe this bedroom to us and also your character?
All right. Yeah, the bedroom is I think, typical 90s boys' bedroom of that age. There's posters on the walls for skateboarding, grunge and punk bands. There is anime posters on the walls. It's a mess. There's pieces of clothing everywhere. Hoodies, t-shirts are all over the place. The boy, me, is wearing a black hoodie and a baseball cap backwards, as is the all the hype and the rage in that time period. And he's stuffing all his he's stuffing his bag full of the things he will need for this sleepover party.
Mm-hmm. What sort of anime posters might we see on the wall in this bedroom?
Of course, his most favorite one, which he's also sporting in a t-shirt. It's Phoenix Ball X. It's the best. it's the best series ever. And the character Fruta is his favorite character. And yeah, he just loves that series. So most of the posters are Fruta of Phoenix Ball X.
How does Seth leave the house? You're in a bungalow. You could come and go out of your window as you please if you wanted. You could go at the front door.
That's usually what I do. So I sling my backpack over my shoulder. I open the door and I yell, "Irene, Irene, I'm out. Bye, later." And I slam the door and then go out the window of my room. And right before I leave, I grab my skateboard and step through the window.
Yeah, your stepmother doesn't even get a chance to respond before you're out the window.
I assume she doesn't care. So
how does your skateboard look?
I mean, you can see it.
Exactly like that. Okay, built to destroy.
Yeah, it's a worn. Like the trucks are slightly rusted. It's a really worn out skateboard. There's stickers on the side, and those were worn off. And then there's new stickers that were put on top of that, and those were worn off. And then that's basically what it looks like. And the stickers on the skateboard are the same thing. So it's like skateboard brands, it's bands, it's favorite series.
All right, so you live pretty close to Seth. Just down the street from you is your destination. Sorry, Zach. Your friend Zach is having a sleepover. Zach's place is always the preferred spot for sleepovers, as his father is often out of town, and his mother is pretty hands off with her parenting. We go down the street to Zach's house, a 2-story home with a large backyard, white picket fence, 2-car garage, a trellis leading up the side of the home to Zach's window, which is often used by Seth at any given moment in the day. Um, Zach's father, Peter, is puttering around the house, getting his things ready for an out of town work trip. Where in the hell did I put that? If this damned government would just start doing the work instead of watching us all the damn time, I wouldn't be so distracted. Zach, have you seen my keys?
Zack, who is fairly slender, kind of unassuming 12-year-old boy with thick glasses and messy hair, as though he's never combed it once. He comes out of his room with a notebook in his hand and a pencil in his mouth, and he's staring at this equation that he just can't quite figure out. He goes, Dad, I think you left them with your coat in the closet when you came home on last Thursday.
I just checked there. All right. I can't be that. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Just remember, I do need you to order that circuit board so I can finish building the cabinet in my room for...
Yeah. I know, son. I'm sorry that I didn't do it sooner.
That's okay. It's just for aesthetic purposes, really. It gives really the feel of being at the arcade, even though it is just a copy of the program that I took off the DARPAnet.
You're a very bright boy, Zach. We need more people like you working in higher up positions in the future. You keep at it, son.
I will, and I won't let them take any money from me that I don't need to.
That's my boy. All right, you and your friends have a good time. Please don't make a mess or clean up after yourselves if you make a mess.
Okay.
All right. I'll be back in a few days.
He goes up to his dad and gives him like a big hug, and then heads into the kitchen to make a sandwich.
All right. So we are going to let Zach make a sandwich. He's expecting his friends to be over any moment now. Seth, as you're heading down the road towards Zach's house, you see a young girl, African American, backwards hat, curly hair, and low pigtails. She's sitting out on the front steps of her house. You know her name is Jamie, though you've only said a handful of words to her. She's chewing bubblegum. You notice at the bottom of the steps is a skateboard. It looks new, like perhaps she's just trying out this activity. She seems to be intently sketching in a notebook, but she gives you a slight wave as you pass her before she goes back to what she was doing. Jamie is very new in town. She just moved here before the summer break, hasn't really had much time to make friends just yet. Though you suspect it's not for a lack of trying, because you have heard other girls in your grade commenting on how odd she is. However, your attention is caught by Jason coming down the road behind you as well at the moment. Though you are now about 2 houses away from Zach's. What do you do here? Do you wait for your friend? Do you keep moving?
Well, as I pass Jamie, I take on my coolest stance on my skateboard, like totally relaxed, in control, and just wave at her and go, "Hey, Jamie," as I pass. Of course, I almost trip because one of the wheels gets stuck, and I almost fall, but I managed to sort of act like it was all part of a little show that I was doing or whatever. And then I just continue on to Zack's house and wave to Jason as I see him approach. Brake on the skateboard.
I would actually like you to make a check for me for your skateboarding. We'll have the first roll of the game.
Sure.
Let's see. You're skilled at skateboarding.
Yes, I am.
Correct. Yes. Okay. I feel like you are kind of trying to look cool at the moment.
I was trying to look very cool.
So I would like you to give me do they call it charisma? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
charm.
Yeah, charm. Yeah. There we go. Good
For
job.
sure. So that's a D12, and I roll a 2, but I think I get +3 because I am skilled at skateboarding.
All right.
So that's a 5 in total.
Yeah, so you do actually kind of like stumble. However, Jamie seems to notice what you're trying to do, and there's like a little bit of like a smirk that you see, even though she's not looking at you anymore. She kind of sees you out of the corner of her eye, trying to like impress her, sort of. Jason, you now see Seth down the road.
I speed up.
Alrighty. Yeah.
Have to be quick, just like lightning the porcupine.
I think that if I'm faster at the house.
Oh, I'm dumb. I got it.
The porcupine.
Lightning, yeah. Gotta go for it.
Sorry, what was the porcupine's name?
Lightning.
Lightning the porcupine, yeah.
Michelle, I'd also like you to mark down an adversity token because you did fail that check.
Ooh.
So you speed up and you guys head to the house. How does Seth and Jason approach the house? Seth, you come here like all the time, unannounced, usually.
Yeah. So I think I would take my usual route, which basically means that I put my skateboard behind my back, stick it behind my backpack, and sort of climb a drain pipe or maybe a tree that's next to the house. And there's like a route that I usually take to up to Zack's room.
Yeah, it has like a trellis with plants kind of like leading up, so you just kind of are able to climb up there. You know which ones not to like step on because they seem like they might be at risk of breaking.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, you see that a car pulls out of the driveway as Zack's father is leaving, and he gives you both kind of a wave of acknowledgement. Have fun as he leaves.
Hello, Mr. Litcham. I shout as I watch Seth start climbing, thinking this time maybe I'll join. But no. I'm a rational human being. I gotta be safe. My mom would be very sad if I broke my leg, and so I just triple padlock my bike to the fence, and then go to knock the door.
All right, Zack, you both simultaneously you hear Seth entering your bedroom, but you also hear Jason knock on the door.
He's halfway up the stairs and he's just looking at like through his bedroom door and then looking at the front door and he just shouts, "Come in."
Okay.
I already am.
Not you. Jason, how many times do I have to tell you? Just come in. When I'm here, it doesn't matter.
I just think you should lock the door sometimes, just in case.
I lock the doors at night.
What if the government come in the morning?
But if the government want to come in, they can. They're not going to be stopped by a lock.
That's fair. To be fair, and I also do live down the street. I couldn't stop him if I tried.
Also, my
Give me a
warning
minute.
system's still in place, so I would know they're coming.
Oh, that's also true. As I start changing into my karate gi. Once I get in.
All right. Well, I'll be in the room,
This is
and
gonna go do
I mean-
karate in your garage.
But it's just in case. I'm ready to protect that.
it's just you need your proper range of movement.
Exactly,
In case
I-
anything.
I
Yeah.
am this jumper and shirt, all 14 layers. It slows down and blocks movement. It's not. It ain't. It's a logistical nightmare.
So Zack goes up into his bedroom, and there is a
What's up, nerd?
Yo, Seth, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Chilling. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, so it's over here, and he like puts his sandwich down in a glass of milk, and there's like a half-built arcade cabinet. It's just wood at this point, like bare plywood kind of thing. But there's like a big old CRT screen with like green lines of code going across it, and there's like a keyboard and mouse that are like plugged into it, and there is also just like a joystick and a button pad like mounted on his desk kind of thing. So it's like you can tell eventually this will be an arcade cabinet. Right now it's kind of just this makeshift thing that is just a screen and buttons. And he walks up to the keyboard and just types in like 6 lines of code real quick and hits enter, and the program executes and Street Combat just starts.
Dude, you managed to do it. I
Yeah,
was afraid you weren't gonna be able to pull it off, man.
I was
I'm
working on it
impressed,
all night,
dude.
all morning, and it's running perfectly. I did lose a frame at one point, so I had to pour through the code and find out what was going wrong with it. And
Oh
It
yeah,
was-
we don't want any screen tearing or whatever, on the game. And
but look at this. Every pixel's perfect, photorealistic fighters. I've even mastered
oh yeah,
Louis Kong already. So you're
can you believe it? The 16 graphics. I mean, can they get more realistic?
oh, it'll never get better than this. This is as far as video
No,
games are
right?
gonna go.
Look at that grass. It even moves. There's like 3 pixels. per-
yeah.
Yeah, it's just alternating pixels.
yeah.
black, green,
I-
black, green, black, green.
Can I walk into the room and like go to take Zack's sandwich?
Yeah, you can
As
do
they're
that.
talking about it. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't want the voice. Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Oh man, and he takes the other half of it, and he's just like, "Can you stop doing that?"
Sorry,
cut it diagonally and cut the crusts off it.
You see, you just get the right amount of jelly and peanut butter. It's no one does like you, Zack. As I try to take it out of his hand.
The other half.
Takes a sip of his milk. You know what? This could be a rule check, I think.
Yeah, I think this would be.
I'm gonna
This is
go
a-
with
I'm already sweating from laughing.
is Zack going to contest this?
I feel like it should be contested in some way.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do then is how do you think, like, what skill most likely for you is going to be used here? Because I could see like an outwitting, so you could use your brains, or I could see like you trying to be quick about it, which I would consider like a flight sort of.
Are you talking for me?
For both of you, what do you guys think you would?
I have no brains to speak of.
I think it's like a charm versus
It's
grit
pure
or
grit.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pure. You think it's grit versus grit?
I would be. I would
Sandwich
go
tug
with,
of
like,
war.
I want this sandwich. I've
Like,
seen it.
I feel like you were trying to charm me out of the sandwich, though.
Okay, no, yeah, that's fair. I'll try charm you out of the sandwich.
All right,
Oh,
you charm.
actually, no, how about my mom gave me some samosas.
Are you
Ooh,
proposing
offering
a
up the
trade
trade.
now?
We can swap.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll eat some samosas.
Okay. I'll bring him over when I go home.
I don't have them.
Oh my god.
Well, you know
I
what my
feel
mom's
like I just
when
lost a
I've
check
guessed
I
them.
didn't even make. Like,
Yeah.
What I
And
want,
he rolled like a critical roll, whatever.
what I want is for Jason to roll a charm check, and I want I would like Zack to roll a brains check in this moment.
My charm is a D6 plus 1. I got a 6.
I got a
Altogether.
7.
You have a
got
D6?
you got a 6. It explodes, so
Yeah.
you can roll it again and add that number.
Oh no, sorry, no, it's not an exploding dice. It was a 5, but like
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Alright.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had exploding dice. Shit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So for those of you in chat, if you
That's
aren't
dangerous.
familiar with exploding dice, if one of the players rolls their dice for the appropriate skill, and they still fail, and they roll the max number on the die explodes, and they can roll it again and add it to that until they pass the skill check if it keeps exploding, essentially. That's how that works. So you got a 6. What did Zack get?
7.
7.
This is very narrowly at like the last second, Zack, you're able to determine that you've smelled his mother's samosas. They have a very, like, you would know if he had them on him at the moment. I mean,
Okay. I feel like, given that situation, he gets like the sandwich halfway slid out of my hand, and then I just like clamp down, and it just tears in half, and we end up with half of it each.
No, feel bad. Okay, yeah, fine. You can have it back.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
It's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, at least I've got my milk.
Oh my god.
This is too much.
Sorry, guys. This is all it's gonna be for.
This
a
is
few
all
hours.
it's
Oh yeah.
It's-
I think that's what they came for, to be honest. I don't know. Okay, I feel like Jason should get an adversity token for failing that, but I don't know if that applies to player against player checks.
I would think so.
All right, so you have an
Good.
adversity token. For chat, adversity tokens, they can spend their adversity tokens. They get them when they fail a check. They can spend one to add a +1 to a different check in the future. Or if they have time to plan out something that they're doing, then they can help each other by adding a +1 to the other person's check. So failing isn't exactly terrible in the system because you do get a benefit from it. All right. So this exchange happens between you two, leaving especially Zack with less of a snack than he thought he was going to have.
This is why he's so thin.
His best friend keeps stealing all his food.
And then never like coughing up the samosas that he meant to trade with.
To be fair, if Jason, not Jason, sorry, if any of them ever did, I imagine my mom would constantly try to get them to come over, and so yeah, she would smother you with all the food.
So he eats once a month at least. We know that, yeah.
And boy,
Alright, so
feast.
So you guys boot up Street Combat. This game looks
yeah.
amazing. Zack has already had a bit of time to test out some of the characters beforehand, so maybe it's a little bit more in his favor playing this. But I'm actually going to have you guys roll to see who wins ultimately at this night of street combat. So you can tell me what you think how your character would approach this game in terms of what kind of check you want to make, because I could make the case for a lot of them. You could be distracting each other. You could be really like nimble with the controls that you're using. You might have a strategy that you're like approaching with, and so maybe brains would come into play, or we could just go straight up fight. You know how to fight, and so you use your fighting knowledge to come out on top.
I think Seth is a total button basher, so he's just going full on fight.
All right, roll your fight.
The character
for
he's
me.
playing is Spider, of course. With
He's
Which
one of
is
the ninjas, right?
he's one of the ninjas, yes.
Yeah.
Is he
Throws
the
that web and pulls them into them.
Yeah, he pulls the weapon. He's like,
Yeah.
Come,
Come over
come
here.
to me, come to me. Yeah. Who am I fighting?
What did you get?
Oh, you want me to roll first? Okay.
Yes.
I don't even know who I'm fighting.
Well, it's like a tournament, like an all-night tournament.
Yeah, you guys are kind of
Okay.
taking turns.
I had a 3, so that's 2 plus 1.
Okay.
3.
Zack, what are you using here?
I feel like it's too new for me to have a proper strategy yet. So I think I'm going to depend on my flight skills, my ability to dodge out of the way before they can hit me, and then,
Mm-hmm.
move in quickly. So that's the one dice I didn't get out. And that's a 12.
Oh shoot!
That's
On
like a total of
12.
12?
Total
Okay.
of 12. Yeah, I have a +1 to flight because I'm a kid.
Jason, how are you approaching this fighting tournament?
I'm trying to use my combat knowledge
Okay,
from
yeah.
white belt
From karate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you keep specifying white belt. Just started.
Yeah. So I feel like if anything, it'd be a D4, maybe, or D10. Would it be my brain or my fight?
I would
think?
say it would be your fight. Yeah.
Okay. Can I give myself a minus? Because I want to be bad at it.
Just roll, man, roll.
Just roll. We'll see. What did you get?
I got a 1.
There you go.
There you go.
It's in your favor.
But he knows what's up.
So you guys are like fighting each other through this tournament. You guys have like this whole like system mapped out, like this person won against this person, and so you guys are also like trying out all the different characters and combinations and stuff.
Yeah, I've completely covered a whiteboard in a complicated point system based on like per battle. How
That
many
only
times
you
used a
understand.
character. Yeah, only I get it. But it is solid. It's accurate.
I feel like we can hear Zack mutter like down, down, up, right, X, X, right, left, left, right. Like you probably studied all the moves to this
Yeah,
game.
I've got them memorized,
Yeah.
but they're not like fully in muscle memory yet.
So who do you guys think that your best character, even if you're doing awfully, who's your best character in this game so far?
Well,
I'd,
obviously I was best with deep freeze.
And,
Yes.
and I was best with Spider, so that
Yeah.
was like the classic.
I would keep switching whenever I get a chance, but Louis was it Louis Kong? Did you say?
Yeah, Louis Kong. Yeah.
Louis Kong, I think I wanted to be really good at because he was a karate man, just like martial arts master.
So
It's actually kung fu, but fine.
Mama still.
So Jason is having a bit of a struggle, especially because he keeps switching out characters, whereas I feel like Seth and Zach
Buttons are sticky.
are getting to know some of their moves.
I was also pretty decent with Grogu, which is the guy with the 4 arms.
I don't think you could unlock him.
I thought you meant the little green guy with telepathic powers.
Have you had some vision in the future from the future?
Yeah, this is where we find out that Zack is the powered character.
Yeah.
So
There's gonna be more
Power of
Star Wars
foresight.
movies.
in about like your maybe 10th round of fighting, Zack is coming out on top with Seth behind him, and Jason, are you a sore loser? Are you just kind of like vibing with them, even though they're getting?
Yeah, I'm having fun as long as everyone else is having fun. Because like there is competition, like growing up around like a bunch of like siblings, but like I'm also very much happy to be a part of it.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that Zack rigged the game, though. I mean, he made the whole damn thing himself. Who knows what he did to it?
Listen, I wouldn't do that, okay? The integrity of doing it right is more important than winning.
I know, but you did study all the moves, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I had to code them in. They weren't in for some reason when I got it. It was like in a separate bat file for some reason.
Next time I'm going to beat you.
I mean, you can try, but I've got it here.
Oh, you're
and
on, bro.
It's going to cost you a fortune to practice up at the arcade.
I think I got Spider's moves down now. I would be willing to go again.
You're saying this as like on the screen in front of you. I would say you guys were still kind of like fighting your last match, but it was very clear to you that Zack is coming out on top of this. You're kind of like trash talking, but like in a friendly way, where you hear the words "complete the fight," and it's like in red, like kind of blood letters. Zack, you are now completing the fight against Seth.
Yeah, so he quickly puts in the command up, down, left, right, BA, and
Start select.
And Deep Freeze grabs his arms and pulls them off, and then just wails on him until he dies.
Oh, gnarly dude, you're beating me to death with my own arms.
Yeah, man, stop hitting yourself.
Oh, look at all the blood spraying. It's so photorealistic.
Look at all those bones. There's like 7 of the same bone falling out of his torso.
They're all the same size.
It's all the same
And of
bone.
course, a bone is like made out of 5 white pixels.
All that blood reminds me of Mary Harry. You know the lady that lives down from the school.
Yeah.
Just like her when I saw her in the grocery store the other day. She was covered in kids' blood.
You mean old Mary the cannibal?
Yeah.
Meat Mary.
You know
Meat
the one.
Mary. Mary
Yeah.
Meat. The cannibal.
I guess your grade calls it differently. We call her Mary Harry.
We call it Scary Mary, and we're in the same grade, so...
We call her Meat Mary. Because she eats meat. Of small kids.
As you guys are talking
Like you
about
guys,
that,
and I do like a...
Stop! Stop! That's racism. Stop.
as you guys are like
whoa.
talking about this
Yeah, keep it
cannibal
time,
woman,
yeah,
you hear on Zach's window like a loud ting that just kind of like echoes through the room as it sounds like something hit the window.
I
What was that?
immediately jump up and look out the window.
I'm just. What was that?
I make it to the window like a second after Seth because I had to stop and grab binoculars.
I just
So-
rolling on the
quick.
ground towards the window. Come on, rolling.
So, Zach, your window is like one of those windows that you kind of like pull up, and the one at the top is like stationary. Um, this is up to Seth as to whether or not when you crawl through the window, do you close it?
Oh no, I don't close the window.
Okay, so when you look out the window, you peek out, and and like Zach is like right behind you as well. Well, Jason is like ready to karate chop. Yeah. You guys are all peering out the window now. You see down just outside of Zach's window, you see Jamie. She's looking up at you guys. She also calls up, I think Zack is right about what they call her.
Look, it's that
See,
Jamie
I
girl.
told you we didn't argue too loud in here.
Hey Jamie, I call down, and then what's she doing here?
I don't know. Did one of you invite her?
I didn't invite her, but did you
I
see
just
she has a new skateboard?
Were you invited?
Have you seen her skateboard?
No,
Zack, listen to me. This is important.
I don't know anything about her skateboard.
I can still hear you, and now I wasn't invited.
Turn to Zack.
I stick my head out again. Can you skateboard with that thing? And I don't know if she's carrying it around or maybe it's still on the street somewhere. But
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have it on her. She's actually in her arms. You see that she's holding like a bunch of snack foods, like bags of chips and bags of gummy candies and like a
Dude,
little
she got
tub of
snacks?
ice cream. This is kind of awkward, but I kind of heard that Zack maybe had street combat.
Yeah, I
do you
mean,
play?
you don't go telling everyone. It's not an entirely legal copy of it.
I didn't need to know that. Nobody was saying that.
Dude, are we gonna ask her up?
I excuse us. I can't have a girl in my room.
I open the window again. Give us a minute, and I close it again. Okay, listen.
She wants to play. My mom said that.
I don't know what it is, but she seems kind of cool, man. I mean, she had a skateboard and all, and the cap backwards.
There's more to life than
that
skateboarding,
stuff.
Seth.
But also, she has snacks, man. She's brought snacks.
I mean, that's cool and all, but I mean, Jason's gonna eat them all anyway, and
Whoa.
Dude,
But
couldn't
she
you
has
play
like
video
the
games?
best ones. She had the Jupiter. She had the Jupiter bars and the Tiger bars.
Go on.
What kind of chips did she have?
I noticed she had a Dip Dog bar.
She had a hub
cut
chip.
me off a piece of that
Hub
Dip Dog
chips.
bar.
Oh, you guys are great.
She had Stan's chips.
The N&Ns were also looking good.
Did you say N&Ms? N&Ms. On the little dummies.
They were just-
She had the gummy slugs and
the gummy slugs. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
okay. I
won't care.
I heard she was weird though,
Yeah,
and
but,
like girls are pretty weird to begin with.
To be fair, look at us, man. We're all pretty weird. I
Oh,
guess.
man, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know what you mean.
Karate Kid over here. Totally normal.
My bed right now is literally covered in in like Gundam action figures and circuit boards, and there's a blanket on the floor I've been sleeping on for the past week. What do you mean I'm weird?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I open the window. Come on up.
Okay, I'll just let myself in. And she like goes to the side, around to the front of the house.
I guess I better.
I'll go. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
We just both meet like we're
You just,
like so awkward.
do.
But then we just down the stairs. Open up the door like way too anxiously. It's like hi.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, hi. That was very quick.
Would you like a drink or biscuits or anything?
I kind of brought stuff. I guess I didn't bring drinks.
Oh well, that's
You like
okay.
juice?
I've got
What's
milk
that?
and juice, and I think there might be some root beer in the basement fridge.
Okay. She just kind of like makes a step forward, but you guys are both like in the doorway.
Yep. Sorry. Can I help you? I don't.
She starts handing you some things.
Yeah.
She especially like she goes and hands you the ice cream. You might want to put that in the freezer or something.
Oh right. Did you just take the ice cream?
I'll take care of that.
So you play Street Combat? I've never seen you at the arcade.
I kind of play it. I guess mostly it just my dad is out of town and I'm new here, and well, I've been hearing a lot of like weird stories about this town, and we
This
haven't.
place is insane. There's government control experiments going on. There's things living in the woods. It's crazy.
You know those little metal things on your shoelaces? Government spy.
It's true.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
why they're magnetic.
Oh,
Exactly.
Don't listen to them! I yell from upstairs.
See, look, that's why I do this, and you look down, and like his shoelaces are just cut off. Just...
If you cut them, they make no connection, and they can't send the information out. Is that?
Oh,
is that
sorry
what
about
it is?
that. My mom said I can't keep doing that.
Well, I cut them off and I put them on like garbage trucks and buses and stuff so that they think they're tracking my movements, but they're not.
It's smart.
Okay. Yeah. Well, stuff like that. Like I was at the comic book store the other day getting a new issue of X People, and some kid told me that there was a lady nearby who like eats people.
Yes.
And like
Meet Mary, and I come strolling down the
Meet
stairs now. I'm talking about Meet Mary or Mary Meet. I can't recall.
It's Mary Harry, I'll have you know, cannibal.
I mean,
is that
it's
true?
It's definitely scary, Mary, and
Yes.
she.
I've seen her. Eating.
I do think that she's involved in eating children, but
Why wouldn't anyone do something about that if everybody
Soup up.
knows?
because the people who would do something about it are the ones who created her.
Yeah, and like I also heard that like a lady died at a farm down Kingston Road or something, and people like
Ooh, yeah.
throwing up. Yeah.
Yeah, they say there might be a swamp monster in the lake, but
Wouldn't that make
They
it a
never-
lake monster?
I guess.
Actually,
Yeah. Well,
It's not in a swamp.
Why are you ruining this?
Accuracy is this is why people don't take theories like this seriously. Even when
Yeah.
you have good
Oh.
corroborating evidence, you say
Oh,
things
sorry.
like swamp monster living in a lake. They're like, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's talking
Where's the
about.
logistics?
That's why people don't take this theory
Well, that and
seriously.
a decade-long smear campaign by the government that ostracizes and lampoons people who have rational questions about the way the government is doing things behind our backs.
Yeah, lampooning.
Questions like, why is the swamp monster not called a lake monster?
Can you hear? It's been lampooned. You're not listening?
That's just it. They wanted you to say swamp monster. Because now no one takes you seriously.
See, that
Hmm.
you look like a fool right now, Seth. You're making a fool of yourself in front of Jamie. Jamie, sorry.
Sorry about him,
Ooh.
Jamie.
Oh, it's okay.
At those words, you can actually see a bit of color rise to his cheeks and go like,
I'll go get some
"What?"
juice.
And then he sort of halfway. I'm still halfway down the stairs, so I sort of do it like
Yeah.
try to do like a cool lean.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
another charm. Another charm roll.
That's a 4.
Yeah. You kind of, when you do that, you kind of there's like a moment where you just kind of like miss your mark and slide a little bit before you right yourself, and Jamie catches that. But she like kind of directs her attention back to Zack, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but for intruding, but like I said, it's just kind of a weird town, and I don't really have anywhere else to go, and we haven't really finished unpacking at home, so like the empty house is kind of giving me the creeps, and I just wondered, like, can I hang out with you guys for a bit? I won't intrude too much."
I've already left for juice.
I mean, yeah, you seem all right. Right, Seth?
Yeah, you seem pretty cool, yo. He's just being totally awkward.
The cabinet's not complete, but it's up in my room. We could go play. Who's your main?
I really like Spider. Spider's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
you and Seth both, but you'll never beat me as Deep Freeze with Spider.
Deep Freeze? No, wait, like Spider's the superior character here. Have you ever?
No, definitely not. Ice Ball, Ice Decoy, you even got the tumble that goes across the bottom of the screen, gets them.
But Spider can like rip off his face and just sort of do the fire ray breathing on you and stuff.
Yeah, but Deep Freeze can beat you without having to rip his skin off his face. So.
But it looks so insanely cool, man. He's just basically just a skull for a head.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
awesome.
it. It's like that's like half winning. You won, but you lost your face in the process.
So I want to
I'm not there, but I'm off like yeah, right.
give Michelle another adversity token for that, and Shanks, can you roll a charm check for me too in this moment?
Okay, I believe I can do that.
Can I, well, after they finish like discussing, I would
It's
come
crazy
in with
because.
a
Oh, sorry.
sorry, I come in with a tray of like cups and juices and a plate of just biscuits in a little round. And a little bowl full of snacks.
You also roll a charm check for me.
So that's a 3 for me.
All right.
All right, we've got this. Bastard, I got 6.
You bastard!
I wanted to get exploding dice.
Kaz,
Don't
you
say
can
that.
also have another adversity token. Shanks, you can have an adversity token, and you notice that Jamie is just like, I mean, it's way cooler though to have your face rip off, and then you can just like be okay though, right? Can Deep Freeze do that?
Nobody can rip off your arms and beat you to death with them. That's pretty cool.
I demand a rematch.
I did it to Seth just before you got here.
I demand a rematch.
All right, fine. Well, we've got a 4th person, so new tournament.
Jamie goes over and like kind of looks over the cups that Jason is presenting. Did you get like just a bunch of different types of juices, or like a particular?
Yeah, just
one?
bunch of, as many like an assortment of like 3 or 4. If it was 5, it'd be too much for my tiny little arms. They would have
So
snapped.
she grabs like an orange juice off of the tray and just says, "Thank you." And she is still holding some snacks in her hands, and I assume you guys like go back up to Zach's room at this time and finish up your battle. You start setting up a new like chart, erasing everything else that you had there.
Yep.
In your home, is it typical for everyone to like leave their shoes on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
okay.
say it's a typical American like TV home where everyone's always wearing shoes for some reason.
They're always squeaky clean because they will sit on beds and stuff with their
Uh-huh.
shoes on.
All right. So it's getting later, but this is a typical night at Zack's house when you guys are having a sleepover. It's getting dark outside, and Jamie is kind of mediocre at the game, but she still seems like she's having fun, and she'll trash talk you guys even when she's losing as well. Doesn't seem to be a sore loser, but she's like all for the the in your face when she does win. You guys are kind of settling into the night, maybe getting a little bit gamed out, and Jamie starts to feel like a little bit awkward, like maybe she should leave soon. She's kind of like shifting now that she's not sure what else to do here. When she looks over at Zack and says, "So, like, you guys believe in like conspiracy things and stuff? Is
Nope. Nope.
Seth is willfully ignorant, but we know for a fact that the government has been doing things in this town for a long time.
Yes.
And you don't believe that, Seth?"
Seth
Not
is
really, no.
ignorant, willfully.
I think they're giving the government too much credit. And nobody would go through so much effort to do the things or try to cover up the things that they say they're trying to cover up, you know?
But
Well,
Why? Do you believe that stuff?
well, my dad actually works at the military base here. That's why we moved here. I don't know, this is gonna sound really weird. You guys don't want to hear.
No, I definitely
Oh,
want to hear it. And
I wanna hear.
he's got a book and a pen in his hand.
She kind of looks over each of you guys, just to try to gauge your like sincerity about this. She
I'm
goes,
just fisting a bunch of snacks.
she like looks. She looks at your hands like, how did you get that particular snack that she brought for herself? She's like, when did that happen? Well, I mean, my dad's been kind of like acting really weird since we moved here. He's always been kind of strange. Like, since my mom left, it was just, I don't know, I guess maybe just he's sad a lot, but the way that he started acting since we moved here was even weirder. It's strange. Like I was downtown one time when he left to work, and I swear I saw him heading off to the mining area instead of the military base. He told me.
He's staring right at Seth.
That doesn't prove anything.
It proves
Lots
everything.
of people go down to the mine.
The uranium mine? When nobody's allowed near there.
Well, if you're military staff, you probably could be allowed to go there.
And yet it's not officially connected to the military. And somehow military are always allowed access.
Do you use it for training grounds or whatever? I don't know.
Why would they train
for
with
like cave
real radiation?
missions?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nuclear war, dude. You know, might happen. Better be prepared.
You think we're preparing for a war right now?
Nah.
Do you think my dad is helping with that?
Nah, I don't think there's going to be a war.
What
But
other
hey,
time?
your mom
aliens?
left.
I asked Zack.
What's
You
that?
said your mom left.
The aliens.
When did that happen?
Can we find aliens? I'm over here about aliens.
Well, I don't really think that we found aliens. There's definitely aliens out there, but they probably haven't traveled to Earth yet.
Let's see.
I bet that if they do, it will be like that that radio play that was on like a couple of years ago. The War of the Planets. Great stuff, man.
Jamie
We don't
at
listen to that radio. We're not allowed to at home.
at Seth's question about her mom, kind of, she shifts. Yeah, it's okay though. Like it happened a while ago.
Ah, that sucks. So, have you spoken to your mom at all?
She like sends gifts sometimes and like a like a card on my birthday. That's about it.
Ah, uh, that sucks. I kind of know what you're going through. I haven't seen my mom at all since she left. It was 8 years ago. Sometimes it's even hard to just remember what she looks like, you know?
Yeah. I heard she has like a new boyfriend and things, but yeah. She just kind of like closes in on herself a little bit. But yeah, but like you guys read a lot of things then, like about like government stuff, cuz I don't know, I kind of have some questions if you
Well,
If you-
I've got answers, and Zack like gets out a stack of books and then like turns on his his PC, and takes a while to boot up. You can hear the thing whirring to life. And what do you want to know? Because I've been watching them for years.
she kind of like scooches back so that her back is against the bed. She like moves some like circuit board that is like jutting at the back of her head. Well, like I said, my dad's been acting kind of weird. Like I'm pretty used to being home alone by now, but I noticed it's been happening more often, and since we moved here a few weeks ago, and his health doesn't seem to be doing well either. Like he comes home and I hear him throwing up in the middle of the night after coming home from work, and I found this weird like see-through sludge stuff behind the toilet one day when I was doing my chores. I didn't want to touch it because it seemed really gross, but when I came back, it was like evaporated or dissolved or something, and there was a spot on the floor left over that kind of glowed a little bit in the dark.
Zack is like meticulously writing down details that she's telling them.
Is it still there? Can you show it?
Yeah, the spot is still there.
Dudes, you wanna go down to her place and check it out? We're kind of interested in seeing the mysterious shit on the floor, you know. Like was it like radioactive dookie or something?
Oh, should I maybe not have been near it? Oh, I didn't even think about it. Could be radioactive.
We'll
Dude,
figure it
might
out. And like Zack pulls a Geiger counter off of his table.
I was just going to say, Zack here is a Geiger counter. We could check it out.
That's right. That's how I proved that they're using radiation to perform experiments at the military base.
No way, you proved that?
The
Is that
radiation
true?
levels are high
Was
in
it?
2 places in the town.
You were
The
there?
mine and
Yeah.
the base.
I was ready. If any of the men in black came, I was ready. Can't find me on my white belt.
Ever since he saw that movie Judo Boy, he's just been obsessed with
Okay,
the
now, okay.
Asian martial arts.
Whoa! Don't. This is a way of life. Don't.
No, I get that. I respect that, bro.
Okay, no, so I thought you were making fun.
Also, he did learn a lot from Master Motoko in that movie. He was
Yeah.
he had a lot of great sayings, different
Yeah.
ways of looking at training.
Soap on, soap off with the car scene. That was great. I never get why they used actual soap on the car, but apparently it works. It's a great training exercise.
What?
Have you been doing that, Jason?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Wow, that's so cool, man.
on, try. Look.
Jamie's also trying.
Yeah. No, yeah. Just keep going. Yeah. No, I was actually asking you to like attack me, and I'd show you it worked.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, Zack is just putting things in his backpack that he thinks he might need, like an EMS and like the Geiger counter, his camera and binoculars, flashlight, two-way radios.
If I wasn't already distracted, I would have been doing the same.
Just training us. It's fine. All right. I actually it's at this moment that I'm going to hand over something called in the system called aspects to my players, where in Kids on Bikes, we have a powered character, which is kind of shared by all of the characters and the game master as well. I pretty much will have ultimate say, but I'm going to give each player an aspect of Jamie's personality, so to speak, because she's a special character in the game. And they can decide at any given moment to activate an aspect of her personality that they think might fit the situation. They will have narrative control over what they think is happening with Jamie at that moment. And so right now I'm going to start with just personality traits. And so I'm going to give strong to Jason. Jamie is a strong person, and you know this by the fact that she now is like trying to spar with you because you told her to like attack you. And just being with her this evening, you've noticed that she's really good at calming situations, and I'm going to hand that aspect of her character to Michelle. So she is good at calming others down. And very appropriately, I'm going to give the fear of she's scared of middle-aged men, especially in suits, over to Shanks to control. You guys kind of pack up your things. You get ready to go over to Jamie's place, which is 2 houses down from Zack's house. How do you guys go? Do you just leave out the front door?
Yeah, I'd have to lock it up.
Okay.
It's night. We're leaving, so probably go through the door.
I exit through the window.
He waits until he goes through the window and locks the window as well.
Yeah, so you head down. You kind of cut through people's yards as well on your way. Maybe you're walking out on the street. I imagine you don't take your bikes at this moment unless you guys feel it might be necessary to do so.
I would begin to start like taking off all 3 padlocks off on my bike unless I get stopped.
I have my skateboard with me all the time.
She doesn't have her bike with her, so I just walk with her.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
by the way, I imagine that Zack's bike has like a sort of handle or whatever that I can often grab on to when he's riding bike that I will drag behind on my skateboard.
He's got like a long banana seat with.
so you're able to like hook your hand there.
There's like a metal ring kind of around the back area of it, and easily able to grab that.
Yeah, awesome. All right.
But I'm not currently riding.
No. I know. It's just something that I thought would be.
You head over to Jamie's house, which is very similar to Zack's house. It's a 2-story home, and she lets you in through the front door. You see that it's very like sparsely decorated. She has like their TV set up. They have a couch and their coffee tables, but there's like no pictures or anything on the wall. There's nothing to make it look like nice or homey. It's just kind of very bare necessities sort of thing. Your voices kind of echo as soon as you enter the home. She turns on like a lamp that is next to the couch. And she's like, the bathroom is down that hall there, and kind of like looks at Zack expectantly since he came with some equipment for the situation.
So yeah, he's immediately like turning on his Geiger counter, and for those who don't know, it's a machine that detects radiation, and it clicks faster the more radiation it is exposed to.
Thank you for clarifying. I knew, of course.
Of course.
It's just for chat.
And he very slowly starts walking towards the bathroom.
Yeah, as soon as you are like at the end of the hallway, you start picking up a little bit of detection of radiation.
We're already at 100 rads. That's not good.
Dude, you're actually getting something?
I told you.
Can you hear the noise?
Why don't you take this seriously? I've been tracking this stuff for years.
I'm trying to take a look at the Geiger counter. I have no idea how it works. Do I see numbers? Do I see a meter going? Like
there should be like a dial that is slowly
dial,
going upwards.
Mm-hmm.
You're sure it's not just responding to some like electricity or whatever? Like
no, it doesn't respond to electricity, and he like holds it up to the light, and like nothing happens. Like this one responds to electricity, and he turns on his EMS and like holds it up to the light, and you see the thing going up on that as well.
Dude, you're such a nerd, but it's actually pretty cool, man. That's some cool.
But this stuff is in my house. Is that bad? Will I get like a mutant? Will I become like a mutant or something?
Well, that's what they're doing with the radiation.
Yeah, like the X people.
Yeah, except under government control.
She goes
Which one would you be?
I would definitely be. Fuck.
don't leap before you got something.
I know. I'm sorry. Like I was just.
I would totally be dark feline. So yeah.
Dark feline.
Yeah.
I am Daywalker.
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool too. I mean, you gotta go with Tigerine, right? He's like the coolest one, the one in the orange with the brown stripes and the claws.
No way, walking through walls is way cooler than that.
Excuse me. Teleporting and being able to walk on the walls is cooler.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, but you
guys are
factor,
all
man. You
completely
can
insane.
heal from any wound.
Gamble is
How
the worst
awesome
one.
would that be?
Yeah, but like you can't touch walls. It's like, what's the point? Well, touch things. And
Well, you get like a
as I
metal
start looking
skeleton.
for things around JD's house,
They give you a skeleton made out of unobtainium.
So,
Yeah,
Jason,
like
you're looking for
unobtainium
things
claws.
around Jamie's house.
yes,
I'm
anything that
gonna
isn't
go.
useful,
I'm gonna
I am
I'm gonna go all the way into the washroom to see how high the rad level gets.
when everyone else is distracted in the bathroom.
And like you don't have to give me a number or anything because obviously I don't expect people to notice such things. But like what would be like the safe to be around level? Like is it like, oh, this is actually very dangerous, or is it like it's not great but it's not going to hurt you?
I would say maybe like on your scale, like it's you said it was at 100 out in the hallway.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so then on that sort of scale, what do you think it goes up to?
I mean, it could go up to millions, but like anything over 1,000 means that you're probably gonna get some level of radiation sickness.
Okay, so when you are like approaching, I would say that when you get outside the bathroom door, it goes from 100 to 200, but the door is also closed at the moment.
Ooh, okay.
So you're already doubled. Jason, can you make me a I don't even know what to ask you for here. You can either make I would say like a flight check, or you like in order to like do this kind of undetected, or you can use a brains check to like think about what it is you want to take. And I realize you might not pass that. Like it's very real.
exactly.
Yeah.
I got a 8 on my flight.
You got an 8.
I don't care what I'm taking. I'm just taking it and putting it back.
You see like a sort of it looks like maybe a broken pocket watch that has been left out on the counter in a little box of just like knickknacks and stuff. Inside there too, you also see like what seems to be some sort of like collection of souvenirs from various places that this family has moved to. You get the sense just by looking in this box that Jamie has moved around to different places a lot.
I feel immediately guilty when I realize this, but I'm stalking myself.
All right. I would like Shanks, can you roll a brains check for me?
I sure can. That is a 15.
Oh, that is very good. You, as you're like standing outside the door and you're testing this level of radiation, you recognize that it might be a little bit unsafe for Jamie to be living here right now with this level of stuff, especially if her bedroom is like nearby.
Right.
Do you press forward?
He's gonna look at it and look at her, and he's like, "This is really not good. Even with the door closed, I'm over 200 rads. Oh my gosh."
Is that the neighbor's kids?
It must
So
be.
loud.
Yeah. There's another sleepover happening on the other side of the house too. He opens the door just a crack and like sticks the Geiger counter into the room.
It goes up near 300 at this point, but the light is off in the bathroom. And since Jason is busy at the moment, Zack and Seth, you do see just like this faint glow coming out from behind the toilet, like she had described to you guys.
Dude, look at that. I assume that Zack is in the door opening, so I try to sort of look over his shoulder or try to look into the room.
He does like kind of try to stop you a little bit. He's like, long-term exposure at this level could cause various health concerns.
Okay. You do your thing first then.
We should take a really quick look, maybe take a picture, and then we should get the hell out of this house.
Yeah, you got a camera on you?
Of course I have a camera on me.
Jason, you also find a camera that it's disposable. one of those disposable cameras in like the kitchen, which is just off the hallway. Yeah.
I have like a Polaroid camera because I need those quick.
You need it like right now.
Yeah.
All right. On the count of 3, I open the door. You snap the pictures. You come back and I close the door again.
Okay.
Right.
Ready?
So on 3 or on. Shall we count up or count down?
Okay. 1, 2 on the 3 of like count up.
Yeah, and then open on the 3, not after the 3. If you open after the 3, I'm going to hit the door.
On the 3.
Okay.
Okay. You both have cameras ready, right?
Yeah.
I've just taken this one on the table.
1, 2, 3.
Zack runs in very quickly, snaps the picture, and then immediately like tries to run out as fast as he can.
Make a flight check for me.
Yep. Oh, not bad. So that's a 7.
Yeah. Okay. So you run in, get the picture. How afraid of? Are you more afraid or like interested in what is happening?
Well, I'm very curious, but I also don't want cancer. or to be mutated if it's some special kind of like radiation that I'm not familiar with that could cause mutations just by contact.
Can we be like the turtles? Or no, I'm doing it.
You screwed it up.
Redacted, copyright.
Adolescent.
Turtles are copyrighted.
Yeah.
All right, there's no turtles in this town. He misspoke.
I misspoke. I mean, the toads.
Nope, there's toads too. Sorry,
Yeah,
can't do that.
Damn.
You need a different amphibian.
Jason, also make a flight check if you were trying to get in and get out and take a picture that is not blurry.
With my D8. There it is. I got an 8 again.
Adolescent ninja.
Yeah, adolescent,
mutant ninja salamanders.
Adolescent
Samurai
spies.
salamanders. Oh, man. I'll workshop it.
Okay.
You got this. I believe you.
So both Zack and Jason like come out pretty like Jason, you have like a moment of like clarity like at the moment that you're taking a picture where you're able to pause enough and like not be like, shaky at all. And you get out. Zack, you wait a moment for your picture to develop, and once like it comes through, do you guys head like immediately back down the hall, like close the door sort of thing? Are you trying to get away from
Yeah,
this
we're trying to
now?
get away from the radiation like right away.
Yeah,
Would I
slam
when,
the
like-
door closed as fast as possible.
When I rush in after Zack, I would like to almost like it just to protect him, so I push him out first before I get out.
That's good because like it's like laminate flooring, and I was losing my footing, just like slipping as I was trying to run back the other way, as the way we're lightning the
Grip
the.
soles. These
Lightning.
grippers are good.
All right. So yeah, you guys get out quickly. Zack, you're able to like develop your picture as you're going down the hallway, and you do see that you get a pretty clear picture. You kind of wait until you're in like a safe area before you actually take a good look at it. I would say Jamie kind of like tells you like maybe we should go back outside if it's not safe to be in here.
How long ago did that happen?
It was about like a week ago.
You've been sleeping here for a week next to that?
That doesn't seem safe, man.
That is
Oh,
not safe.
I didn't know, and then she goes to open the door at this moment, and you see her kind of like disappear, like in like an instant, like you hear just like a and then you hear that same sound again on the other side of the door, and you guys are like now standing kind of like at the foyer in her house, and you can see that she is on the other side of the door outside looking terrified at the moment. I am going to hand over another aspect. This one's going to go to Jason just because of what he said.
Just
She
like Daywalker.
She is able to teleport short distances with another person. But welcome back. We started off by meeting our characters, Zack, Seth, and Jason, who had gathered over at Zack's house for the evening, where they were going to test out the new street combat game. Seth came out on top of that, and there were some moments of accusation about whether or not he cheated, considering he was the one who had to put the moves into the game. They enjoyed their time together, ate some snacks when they were interrupted. They were talking about a lovely story going around town about Meet Mary or Scary Mary
Scary
or Harry
Meet
Mary.
Or Mary Meet. Meet Mary. It's one of the two.
the cannibal in town who eats children apparently, and nobody does anything about it. She lives near the comic book store. They were talking about this when they were interrupted by Jamie, a girl who lives 2 houses down from Zack. She's new in town. She also seemed to have overheard all of their arguing over the matter about what this woman is called. And they invite her inside. She came bearing snacks. And they went back to playing some more street combat for the evening. Once things started to die down, Jamie seemed to try to figure out a way to keep the conversation going. When she brings up the interest that some of the boys seem to have in conspiracy theories about the government and stuff, by telling them that her father works as a government employee at the military base near Cork County. She tells them a strange story about like how her dad's been acting weird and how she could hear him like throwing up after work, and she found some sort of like weird glow-in-the-dark substance in her bathroom. Oh my god, you guys are ridiculous.
Ricky Cox. Sorry.
You guys have a lot of references that I enjoy. It's fun. This seemed to interest the rest of the party, and they head over to Jamie's house to investigate. Jason found a couple of knickknacks that were to his liking, as well as a camera, which came in handy because Zack, who came equipped with a Geiger counter, started picking up radiation levels coming from this spot in the bathroom that Jamie had described. Quickly, the boys take a picture, and all the kids try to rush out the house, but as Jamie goes to open up the door for them, she suddenly disappears and reappears on the other side of the door, looking kind of terrified. She has those windows on the side of the door that kind of like frame the doorway, and you can see her outside now. The boys kind of exchange words about how she's like one of the X people now, and that's where we left off.
All right, so as that happens, Zack immediately like falls backwards onto his butt, and he's like, "Ah!"
I have my skateboard in my 2 hands, like ready to hit something when the door opens and we see her. Right? Or see her through
Did she
the
just do
window.
that?
Yes.
Did you know you could do that?
I have no idea what's going on or how I did that.
Is this from The Thing? He's looking at the bathroom.
The hit movie.
Can we all get superpowers?
Movie.
I don't recommend that.
My,
It could just be regular radiation that would kill you.
Did you always have this? Or something? Or did they run tests on you? Were you born in a lab?
all of these questions just getting
The Motel Man!
What about that?
What motel man? What are you talking about? What question
the
should I
Motel
answer?
Man. Okay, I thought he was following me. He's following you.
Wait, somebody has been following you?
Well,
And you didn't tell me?
Well, what happened the last time I told you, Seth?
I mean,
Yes, I mean,
if
so
you
we're
tell me
fully
that somebody's following you, I take that stuff pretty serious, dude.
Yeah, and then you're
You
gonna
know I
bring
keep
in
an eye
people
out.
that I can't trust into the situation.
Yeah, you'll be lampooned if you don't be careful.
I mean,
Fucking guy. I fucking can't take it.
You made him blurry, Kaz.
I'm just too powerful.
He made
That's
me
what
laugh
lampooning
myself
happens.
blurry.
I missed it. I'm sorry. Could you repeat the joke?
Gay lampoon?
Okay.
Focus.
Oh shit.
There is
Jamie,
a man.
answer me. Are you an alien or a lizard person?
Are you an ex-person? Have we already asked that? I feel like we already asked.
Obviously, her father is conducting experiments on her. That's what they've been doing at the freaking base.
Do you require protection?
I don't.
Offer a service.
Okay, I mean, no, I don't think I was born in a lab, to answer your question. Hey, there is
Zeta radiation.
There is something that does stand out as odd, though, when my mom left. I don't think she wanted me to stay with my dad. I don't know why.
You think she knew something?
I don't know.
Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but everything is coming together now. All right,
Is it?
come with me. And he runs out the door and tries to take Jamie by the hand as he runs.
Come, Seth.
Yeah, she's fine with that. She's pretty shaken up at the moment, and so she's willing to be soothed at any moment.
Yeah, Zack was terrified because he's very cowardly. But after things started clicking in his brain, the adrenaline starts going, and he's just I can explain everything.
As he starts running, I will follow.
Yeah, so he takes them back to his house and charges up the stairs and turns on the lights in his room, and he flips over one of the boards, and on the back is a makeshift map of the town with strings connecting different points.
Of
Alright,
course.
what are we seeing here? What is there any 2 points maybe that would stand out to the rest of the people here as connected to each other?
Oh, definitely. So, obviously, the base and the uranium mine are connected, and with a different colored line, it's connected to different places around town that at least these two would know, where events happened, mysterious things, where all these rumors are coming from. And then there is a direct line of blue from the base into town to the motel, which then circles out around all the places that Zack normally goes, and so that's why he thought this guy was following him. And he's here at the motel, there is a man who's staying there. No one knows who he is, but he said that he is from out of town and he's just passing through. He's been there for a couple weeks now, and also he's not from out of town. He's got a little sticker that identifies him as personnel at the base, and he's got red clay on the tires, which matches the red clay that is at the base. And it's not from the road. Don't give me that crap, because that road is paved. So it's not from the road. It's from the base. And he's been staying there for weeks. All he does is goes out, walks around town. I've seen him at the school. I've seen him at the arcade. I've seen him at the library. And I've seen him here, outside.
That's pretty serious, dude. Have you called the cops?
He's
The
fucking
sheriff?
one of them!
One of them.
You don't know, but it might be just some creep
He's a government employee.
stalking.
I thought
kids.
he was on to me. I thought he knew that I knew that they knew. But he was over there, and he points. He's he can't see my bedroom from there, and I was wondering why he'd be standing there. Maybe he didn't want to be noticed by me, just tracking where I'm going, but he can see her house from there.
So as you are describing this, you notice that Jamie is getting more and more closed off, kind of nervous looking. And when you start to suggest that this man is following her around, She's like covering her ears, kind of shaking her head a little bit, and then you just suddenly she's gone again, but this time it looks a little bit different. You notice that she kind of just slips through the place that she is sitting on the floor, and then you hear a thud downstairs. And she's just like, guys!
I
Jamie!
immediately run down,
Yeah,
and I don't even run down the stairs. I just sort of flip over the side of the railing, just grab hold of it, and then jump over it, sort of jump down.
You see that she's like on the floor, and she's looking a little bit pale in the face, and she's like, I haven't been feeling good since going back there. I might throw up, but what if I throw up that weird stuff my dad threw up? Did he throw that? Is he like me? She's freaking out.
I don't know, and I try to, so I sit down with her and try to calm her, maybe like take her hand or put a hand on her shoulder or whatever, and just try to calm her down. It's like, we're going to figure this out. Just calm down. If you need to throw up, then somebody get a bucket. And I scream to the other guys, we're going to figure this out. All right, we're not going anywhere. We'll stick with you. We'll figure this out. We'll protect you as best as we can. And
we're going to expose this whole thing. We're going to get you out of this situation.
No more lampooning anymore.
I would like all of you to roll a charm check for me.
Sure.
all right.
6 + 1.
7.
Zack. 4.
Actually, let's see. No, that's just a 5. Sorry, I thought I had something.
So because Jason has been very somewhat quiet in this situation, his words don't seem to have as much impact on the calming her down. You, Kaz, get another adversity token.
Racking up.
Seth and Zack, you notice that your words kind of resonate with her. She gets more like a determined look on her face, and though she's kind of almost trying to stop herself from throwing up, she stops, kind of hard swallow. Why are you guys doing this for me?
Because you're a friend.
I mean, yeah,
You're one
this
of us
isn't
now.
your fault.
Oh, I guess I'm not really used to having friends. You don't really get attached when, you move around a lot, I guess.
Yeah, my
That's
parents
cool.
did that. They moved too.
Well, get used to it, because we're a team now.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Since Zack was kind of the one to trigger this. Shanks, you get the aspect of Jamie that is able to shift her density with one other person.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. She's like a daywalker, but also the sight. He can control his density.
All right. I kind of missed the last of your explanation there, Zack. I'm sorry.
It's don't worry about it. We know that this is the result of their experiments. Now we know that they're watching you. So here's the plan. We're going to gather all the evidence we can. I've got people who have access to backdoors all over the DARPANET. We will post it everywhere. We're gonna We can't trust the main stream media. They're all controlled by the government anyway. But if we can get it out to strategic points all over the world with photographic evidence, well, we could just expose the whole thing forever.
Okay. Oh God.
You want a bag?
I don't want to get anything in Zack's house.
Oh, here, and he like
Come, I'll help.
runs to the back door and like grabs the like metallic trash bin because he's concerned about whatever comes out of her might be radioactive. And if you have
bags.
Yeah, plastic bags.
This should contain whatever comes out of you.
Very in character. Yeah, Seth kind of like helps her to where Zack is getting this bin, and Jason has bags, probably like pocketed something else in the kitchen. Now has root beer.
Don't know that.
Pocket full of twist ties.
At one point, your backpack will be full, right? You can't just keep adding stuff to your backpack.
It's a backpack of Holland, okay? Don't.
Okay. Well, I didn't know we were allowed to.
He can transfer stuff to the basket on his bike if he needs to.
Yeah, exactly. But then I'd get caught. Interesting. I'll have to buy a new bag.
So Jamie is like, she's just like, you hear her gagging like, ugh, ugh, and you do hear like something come out of her into like, because it's a metallic bin that you got her, it kind of like echoes a little bit more. Yeah. And upon that you see again the same sort of glow, but this time you actually see like the source of what it is. There's, if you look, that's totally up to you. Like if you have squeamishness, then
yeah, I'm looking for sure.
I'm looking. Yeah, I have no.
I'm still sort of holding her, helping her, like so. But I will look over.
Doing that like 12-year-old thing.
Yeah, like gross, but cool.
I want to poke it.
You're gonna poke it? Oh my god!
No, I just want to.
You see, like it's like a kind of lumpy sort of substance, but it's all like very like it sticks together. It's not like liquidy. It's kind of like a doughy sort of thing, and it's really translucent. It seems to be like kind of vaguely moving. And yeah, you see just kind of a little bit of a glow coming out from like underneath where it's in contact with the bin. Jamie kind of like covers her face and is like, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that in front of you guys, and kind of like steps back.
Okay.
Well, it was pretty gross, but it's also pretty awesome. Like, what is that?
See that, Seth? Do you believe me now? It's what I've been telling you all along.
That people throw up radioactive alien goo?
That they're hiding things from us.
We don't know that yet. We haven't seen any proof that her dad obviously might be hiding something, and he might happens to be working
for the military at that base.
There's no way they can. Like, so many people would know of what's going on. We should have heard something. People, I mean,
we did. Let's not rush to conclusions. Let's just follow these leads and try to figure out what's going on here. You're hopeless, man. And he takes a picture of the puke.
Says the guy taking the pictures of the puke.
This is our evidence, remember?
Yes, evidence.
Well, at least we found out it's not radioactive dookie. It's a radioactive pukey.
Oh, that reminds me. He like puts the lid on it. He's like, we probably shouldn't be standing over this.
Astute observation. I say, very smart.
Let's go back inside. Let's go over that map you had in your room.
Okay.
But this time without talking about all the following and stuff. I mean, you were clearly upsetting Jamie a bit, so...
But it's better that we know now. If we know what we're dealing with, we know how to deal with it.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye open for the motel man.
And anyone that works at the base.
The motel.
The Motown man.
If you
Motown man?
No, the motel man.
just remember, if you see red dust, run away.
Red dust.
Red dust.
Check.
All right,
Whoa.
so you guys head back up to Zack's room. You continue on with like your explanation of how these things are connected. Are you like careful now about like the words that you choose when
Yes.
you're like talking about people following Jamie? I'll give the floor back to you guys and what you guys want to now do with this information. You were talking about how you're gonna expose them all. What is the plan now?
So, first of all, like, what time are we in right now?
I would say it's about like 10:30-ish at night. Yeah.
All right. So that's like a 5 in the morning for me then. Oh no, wait, no, that's not how it works. It's all right, 10:30. So you guys want to check something out? Like,
I'm always up for checking some air.
Of course.
well, I mean, we could go to the motel, for example, or
I think we want to avoid him.
yeah, that makes more sense. But I was just thinking that I want to, get
I think
a
what we should do
look
is
at the
go,
guy.
go to her. Oh, I've seen him. I'll point him out to you. But I think we
Again?
should go back to her place and see if her dad has anything that can get us onto the base.
Oh yeah,
Right
You're
away,
good
though,
at-
should we...
you're good
Huh?
at swiping stuff, Jason. We can go to the house.
Whoa,
and-
whoa, 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 excuse me? Sorry, I don't swipe nothing.
You have a way with collecting.
Was that my
Items.
camera you were using, by the way?
No.
I didn't
It was a
think you'd
different-
noticed, Seth.
I look at Jamie and I go like,
I didn't think you noticed. He takes your stuff all the time. Why don't you say anything?
what? He takes
Whoa,
my
whoa.
stuff?
Whoa,
I've never seen him take my
Zach,
stuff.
these accusations right now. I'm being lampooned hard right now.
Wait, and I immediately go over my pockets and my backpack to see if everything's in here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Carl.
Jason.
Jason,
Funny.
is there a Fruta action figure in your backpack right now?
No.
No way.
The authentic
There's
battle-damaged Fruta action figure from his
There
fight
is-
with Peter?
No way.
No, it's only my school books and a vintage pocket watch I have quiet. And a camera. And some mug. Mine.
I have acquired.
So I check my bag and I go, no way, dude! You took my.
Whoa,
you-
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa,
took-
whoa.
You took my
Fruit.
Fruta action figure.
Okay, listen. Okay. Maybe
After
I
what
have-
you did to my imported VHS tape of Phoenix Ball X,
I'm sorry, I can't help this. It's just.
you got a problem, man.
I do
Give
know
me back my.
That's the
Okay.
first step of growing.
All right,
Would you
if
agree?
if I wake up in 3 days and do not see my Fruta action figure on my desk, there will be hell to pay, buddy.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just heard someone say it in a movie and thought it sounded
Like,
cool.
I don't wanna cry, like, I'm feeling tears coming up.
There's
I'm
hell
feeling
to
real sad.
pay. What does that even mean?
No, you should have gone with that line from Dick Kickham. I'm here to chew ass.
Oh yeah, I heard that one.
You were allowed to watch that movie? That's definitely X-rated.
I believe it's called Z-rated here.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one's here, and someone uploaded a copy of it.
Well, what's the rest of that quote, though?
That's it. That's the line. I'm
I
here to
Yeah.
just asked.
That's it.
It's threatening, right?
I'm quivering in my boots right now. Or... figuratively, of course. I'm not wearing
Oh
boots.
my god. All right.
I'm all sweaty.
It's all that radioactive goop.
It is. Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Seth. I'm sorry. I may have taken and I might have hurt you with my actions. If I were or someone had given me this and I acquired some of your action figures, I apologize dearly.
Dude, just get it back to me, and next time if you want to borrow something or like I know, man, you live in a busy house, and like I know that maybe, right, you don't always have what you want or need, so just ask in the future, okay?
I just looked down at my shoes.
All right, now let's go swipe Jamie's house for clues.
Yeah.
Is that what they say? Swiping the house for clues?
Tells me off for stealing, and so like now we're gonna go.
Yeah. Now let's go right ahead.
No more stealing. Now let's go steal.
Really,
some stuff.
really
Yeah.
undercut your message.
Hey, we're 12 and 14.
Yeah. No,
What do you
it's really
expect?
on, like it's on point, but still.
Do you guys have flashlights?
I
No, I got a lighter.
may have stolen.
Okay, well, I was gonna give one to you
No, I don't
anyway.
have. I don't have one.
but-
I wanted to check it just in case.
I put a filter on these lights, and he like hands out black lights, and he's like, these should pick up like any weird fluids or anything biological. Just don't use them in my room.
I just
And
I just start like turning it on in my eye.
I immediately switch it on. Obviously.
no!
What is happening here? So he switches it on, but how does he actually see? I'll know.
Zach just
Oh.
very quickly turns up the brightness of his like room light
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that it gets
That's
like
fine.
drowned out.
Yeah.
Describe the room.
Describe No, don't let's not.
Don't look at the laundry basket.
Or the curtains.
Oh no.
Okay, let's
You guys are horrible.
let's go.
Oh, he's actually dying over there.
Yeah. Hang in there, Shanks. We need you.
I've been sick all week, so my throat's still a little bit in rough shape. The laughing finally did me in.
Okay. Okay. So let's we're you guys are heading out now equipped with these flashlights that Zack handed off to everybody. You head over to Jamie's house again. You enter in, and like Jamie's house is set up where you enter into the living room. Straight across is the kitchen. Then there's a hall that goes down to where the bedrooms are. There's a hall that goes down to where her bedroom and the bathroom are, and then there's stairs going up to where there are more rooms in the house.
All right,
Where do you guys go?
Is there like a workplace? Is it like a
An office or something?
home office?
Do you guys ask Jamie?
I was asking.
Okay,
Jane.
yeah. He usually does a lot of his work in the basement, which is through the kitchen.
There's a basement.
Okay, you guys do this floor, I'll do the top floor, and then we'll do the basement together.
No, let's go to
Should
the
we split up
basement.
should we split up in teams or?
Yeah, well, who wants to come with me?
As your bodyguard, I must. It is my duty.
Okay, so you guys kind of.
So you guys take the first floor, and me and Jamie take this floor.
By first floor, do you mean the top floor?
Yeah, I assume so.
Oh yeah, you count it. You guys count weird. That's true.
Yeah, we
But
count it weird.
You have
First is
ground.
above.
You have ground floor,
Yeah.
ground floor, first
And then-
floor,
yeah.
second floor.
Okay.
First floor is the ground floor
or
for
is
us.
ground floor the first floor? for
Yeah,
you guys?
they're used interchangeably.
Okay, so you have
Okay.
ground floor 2 or 1, 2, basically.
Okay, let's
I'm
start
learning.
off with With-
Actually,
Amazing.
Zach and Jason. Then you guys head. Do you like scan every single room in the house for stuff?
I mean,
I'm
we're
being
gonna
very cursory.
unless it's like his bedroom or an office or anything like that, we're gonna just kind of give it a glance over kind of thing. But
Okay.
we are looking for like specifically anything that he has lying around that would be evidence of anything, or any like credentials or anything that could get us onto the base.
Okay, so it's during this time where like you can do a brains check for me, or because you guys have time, you can also take like the half of that plus any bonuses that you have if you would like to do that.
Could I give an adversity token to
Yes,
Zack?
you could. You guys are working together at the moment to figure this out. So Zach, you now have a +1 to your roll as well.
I'm
you
like,
should-
I,
Do you think I
My-
should roll, or do you think I should take 10? Because like 10's pretty good in this game. But
yeah.
And then the 10
wanna-
plus 1 would be 11.
11.
Don't know if that's...
I want to say roll, like, cause like isn't your brains a 20?
yeah, it is.
Yeah, but if you can still roll 1 on
Yeah,
That's the
from
thing.
20.
yeah.
That's the thing, and then the adversity
I-
token is basically worthless.
I got 3 of them.
I'll roll it. Heck,
I think the fun is rolling it. But yeah, whatever you tell me to grab, I'm ready.
Yeah, is it good?
that's a raw 19. So with
Would
the
you
adversity
say,
token, that's a 20.
My luck has rubbed on.
Oh my
I
God.
told you it would.
Wow, Kaz, you're always trying to rub your luck on me.
That's what you call it.
Whoa.
Got so
So-
much love to give. I mean, luck to give.
The rooms on this floor are made up of the living room, dining area, kitchen, the bathroom, and Jamie's room. Like you guys were on the ground floor, right?
No, we went upstairs.
Oh, you went upstairs. Okay, so on this floor, then you have what looks to be her dad's room, and also another bathroom and like a guest bedroom sort of thing. But the guest bedroom seems to be piled up with boxes that they have yet to unpack into the house. So you give that a pretty thorough look over. You said you were mostly interested in her dad's room, but now that you see that there's like a guest bedroom here with a bunch of boxes, do you also rifle
Yeah, it's
through
probably
that
worth
stuff?
opening up some of these boxes and see if there's anything work related in them.
Okay. As you are both kind of looking around, you guys are using your flashlights instead of actual lights, right? Like
Yeah.
there's electricity in this house,
Yeah.
but you guys have chosen. You're doing the whole kid thing. Like this is the
Yeah.
I mean, we
The
also
cooler.
don't want to draw outside attention if we can avoid it.
Mhm. So you're looking through the dad's bedroom first, which is like, it's really again kind of bare. He has like an alarm clock, and his clothes are all very like lined up pretty tidily in the closet. He has like several pairs of just the same kinds of shiny black work shoes. You notice that, actually, Zach, yeah, you notice that there's like a similar outfit style to this hotel man that you were talking about, like some sort of uniform-esque thing in the closet. You look under the bed as well. Here you see sort of like a. I don't know what you call them. It's kind of just like a metal box, kind of like where you would keep like coins in if you were out somewhere doing like a, I don't know, like a yard sale or like a event. You're collecting money. Yeah, a lockbox.
Small lockbox.
You see that under the bed.
Well, I'm gonna try to open that.
Okay. How are you trying to open it? It has like a sort of key pad on it.
A keypad?
Well, like the little, like a bike lock where you kind of turn.
Oh,
you turn
okay.
the numbers. Yeah.
Well, I think that Zack would get out his little mini toolkit and fashion a shim to slide down into the padlock and open it.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's be ready to watch on guard. Just fucking.
You're so ready all the time, man.
He's always ready.
If I'm not,
I would like to point out Jason has probably had experience also opening these sorts of locks on various occasions.
I don't know that. I know he swipes things, but I don't know he's picking locks.
It's because I've been opening your fucking.
Yeah.
He's not gonna show him right now, though.
Yeah.
So
they're already onto me.
I would like you to roll then. What do you think? Like a brain check with that?
I think so, yeah. Like I'm fashioning a tool for a specific job kind of thing.
Okay. Roll for me.
All right, here we go. That is a 1.
You really struggle with this box. It's like not coming.
I knew I should have brought the shim that I made the other day. Damn it.
I got some pens if you want, or pencils. My backpack. I don't know so.
Did you take those from my backpack?
No, these aren't yours. The elders.
Okay. Do you know how to get into this then? And he slides it over. Maybe you could just break the lock off.
This is I just list off like the actual name of the fucking box.
It's it's a model.
It's a Model T Henry Ford. This one.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Oh, sorry.
We're gonna get sued by Ford.
Yeah, well, I will try give it a roll.
Zach, you get an adversity token
Yes.
as well.
That's 2, baby.
Yes, that is.
Yes. Try to break it open.
You just
Why is
lampooned
Jason
me.
laughing hysterically over the lockbox? I yell
What?
upstairs. Is everything all right there? I hear Jason
gonna try and lock
laughing.
him
Did you
up.
find something?
I'm gonna try and lock him if I don't get it under the dust on the floor.
Okay.
on,
What do you feel would be appropriate here for Jason to roll? I'm pretty open.
Could one argue grit?
I have to. I'll be back
determination.
in a minute.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Like you take your time with it, and just kind of you're pretty cool about it. You're listening to the lock at the same time as
I'm not sure
well.
Zack, I'm smart. Motherfucking bitch. I got 9.
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Out of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not based on the It's not a
Oh
D20
yeah, no,
system.
that's true. Yeah. Sorry.
It's pretty good. Yeah, you kind of zone into this, and you kind of get all of the numbers like lined up correctly, and it comes undone after like a minute or so of you trying at this. You open it up, I assume?
Nope. If I can, yes. Sorry.
Yeah. You open it up, and like oddly you find a bunch of envelopes and cards that are empty for like various occasions, like just like a stockpile of them almost. There's birthday cards, Christmas cards, inside of this lockbox.
Oh, we're definitely reading these.
Is this?
These are from her mother, aren't they?
No, they're all empty.
They're empty.
Yeah, they're
Oh
blank.
shit! He's freaking. I thought he was taking her mail. He's freaking writing it. These are to send to her. Oh, this bastard did something to her mother.
Like, maybe she's that goop.
I don't think that's the case, but it maybe.
Oh hey, we're being raided. Welcome in, Tavernaut.
Hello.
We're playing Kids on Bikes. And
Being very childish about it.
our players are breaking into a house. They all have black lights going as they investigate something that they think they're onto, a big government conspiracy at the moment, with a super powered girl that lives down the street from one of the characters. She's very new in town, and they think that her dad might have done something both to her and also her mother, as they just discovered a locked box full of blank cards for various occasions, after being told that this girl receives only cards from her mother from time to time and hasn't seen her in a while.
Zack's gonna very quickly check through, make sure there's nothing else in here underneath or anything.
You come across what looks to be like sort of like an access card of some sort.
We've got it. Jason, I don't think we should tell Jamie about this unless we have to. Not yet.
I look at the cards. Okay.
Okay. Closes it up and slides it back underneath.
Is there anything fancy on the desk?
There is a like kind of nice looking wristwatch. This one actually works. The pocket watch that you got was broken and old. Yeah.
It's in my bag now.
You guys continue on your investigation into the next room. You don't find anything in the washroom that looks odd to you. When you go into the bedroom, though, you notice that there is like, you don't notice anything about the boxes that are unusual. Seems to just be household stuff, though you do notice it's a little bit like scarce. Like it's almost as though the way that it's like empty in the house right now is just the norm, because there's also just you don't have any sign of like any decorations that might be for hanging on the walls or putting around on tables and stuff. It's all just like bare necessity type of stuff. And you do spot a little kind of like, it's a smaller metal waste bin in the corner. You notice immediately that it is glowing in the dark.
I flash my light on it.
Oh, When you flash your light on it, you see that there are just fingerprints all over like the top of like it's definitely been used frequently.
Zack.
That's gross. We need to be quick about this. There's probably these things all over the house, and we're getting exposed to a lot of radiation here.
Dang, you should have brought your tinfoil hats.
Yes.
I keep telling you, that's not going to protect you from anything. You need lead, something more dense. Gold would do too, but it's way too expensive.
My mom's got a lot of gold.
It's not enough to shield our bodies from radiation.
That's fair.
So meanwhile, on the main floor, we have Jamie, whose house this is, and Seth. They are searching around the living room, the kitchen, I assume they don't go back into the bathroom after their last experience in there?
No.
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 You guys are kind of like flashing your lights all over the place.
I'm just opening drawers,
mhm.
like of desks and cupboards and whatever.
Okay, so roll a brains check for me.
That's great. As it happens, I have a brain.
Don't tell the zombies.
I'm gonna also get Jamie to do this as well, but her brains are not great.
A 9
That's pretty good.
out
yeah.
of a D10. Yeah, it was.
Double do.
Okay, so Jamie seems a little bit like shaken up by this whole experience and what's been happening to her this evening, and so she doesn't really seem to notice a lot of what's going on around her. But Seth, you do notice that there are like kind of glowy sort of like fingerprints on Jamie's door. There's like one like a little bit higher up from where the door handle is, and the whole door knob itself is just kind of like covered in this as well.
All right. So while we are walking through the rooms, I sort of try to sort of keep her distracted. I'm just talking to her, like making conversation and talking about comic books and the anime series that I like, and as we approach the door to her room, I sort of just stop for a moment, and then would I even know it's her room?
Yeah, actually you see like there's like the only thing that's really decorating this house is that there is like a poster that she hung on the outside of the door. It's like some sort of girl pop band.
Girl pop band. Okay, that's
yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Like the sugar.
The seasoning girls.
Yeah.
Seasoning women? No.
The seasoning ladies.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, you like the seasoning ladies?
I mean, like she kind of blushes. I mean, I guess I'm kind of growing out of it, but a couple of their songs still kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. People like what they like, and I mean, I know a few of their songs, like the one where they go like "Season up your life, season up your life," and but
like, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's really like I'm starting to get more into like a lot of like new rock music and stuff, but it's just stuff that I'm exploring.
Dude,
I guess like
I have a bunch of cassette tapes you really need to borrow from me.
That would be really nice.
I immediately start going through my bag and just hand her to. One is called Valhalla, and the album title, it's like you see a swimming pool and there's like a grown man swimming in it in a diaper, and then it's it's called Don't Care or something. It's the title of the album.
Alright, yeah.
Anyway, so
Shoot.
can I? I mean, this is feels a bit awkward, but
Oh
Can
yeah,
I-
you
can I
need to
enter your
go in
room?
there, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of weird. My dad never goes into my room. So, I don't. And she just kind of like opens it up and like kind of like awkwardly like lets him into her room. This is-
okay. I carefully step in and look around and do it like a sweep with the black light, and but also I also check out the room. Like I'm only half trying to figure out what's going on. The other half I'm trying to figure out what
Okay.
Jamie's like.
All right,
Who she
so
is as a person.
Jamie's room is very like clash, kind of like she's kind of transitioning out of like the little girl room into, you start seeing a little bit more mature things in her room. So her bed has like the kind of like frilly pink blanket, and there's like stuffed animals in kind of tucked into the corner. But like at the same time, you see that she has like a Walkman with like a cassette in it, and it's like kind of like the cool like looking headphones. They're not just a basic sort of like the black over
Yeah.
there's like a sort of brightly colored splash design to them. And then you see on her desk she has like her homework out, and she has like this really girly looking lamp. It's like there's like a stuffed animal kind of like tied to the base, and it's like but she has like stickers stuck all over. It's like a happy face with like X'd out eyes and its tongue out, and there's like skull stickers and like those shiny like holographic stickers that you kind of like win out of little like vending machine sort of
Yeah.
things. Posters on her wall that are a mix of very like romance sort of movies, and then there's also like it seems like just one singular like rap group as well, like a hip hop sort of looking group. I'm not as good as coming up with the names of these things on the spot for you guys. But you also see that in one corner per room there's boxes that have yet to be unpacked as well, just like much of the rest of her house. And she's just kind of awkwardly standing at the door, and as you're shining the light around, you notice that one particular box in the room has some fingerprints on the outside of it, and it's like a nondescript box. It's not labeled
All right.
to be anything in particular.
Do you know what's in that box?
Oh, she kind of gives it a scan. Yeah, that's the stuff that my mom gave me.
You wanna check it out? Can we check it out?
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, it seems like someone either put something in there or got something out of it, maybe.
Oh, yeah, okay. She takes it and kind of like sets it on the floor. She seems a little bit nervous. You see that her hands were like shaking a little bit, and her face is just kind of growing like more and more red, as like this whole kind of situation of like she's never had a boy in her room before, essentially.
Yeah.
And when you notice this, you actually kind of see that Jamie's form takes on like a bit of transparency to her. Like there's like a flicker where it goes down, like you can almost see through her for a moment. It's like a ghostly-esque quality. And I'm going to give you the aspect of her powers. She is able to become invisible with one other person that she's in contact with. So Seth, you and her start looking through her belongings in this box.
Yeah, I immediately start talking to her about some of the posters that I see, like, oh, you like that group, and sort of try to get her mind off of what we're actually doing. Like,
yeah, and you notice that like it kind of brings her back to like her full form. She doesn't seem to notice that was happening to her as well. You're the only one who knows that at the moment. And yeah, she's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I try to keep my mind open, and I feel like moving around a lot has really given me the chance to explore. As much as it's like sucks that I don't get to make friends, I get to explore a lot of things outside of friends. So I try to be open-minded for everything. And
well,
yeah, go ahead.
and now you found friends.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Though I kind of worried that maybe that'll make it harder if I have to, like, move again. That would kind of suck.
Yeah, that would suck. But hey, we don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah, you're right. And as
So
as you guys are like digging through the stuff, you notice that there's like a moment of concern on her face. She's like, there's some stuff missing here.
Oh.
Why? I don't. There's like there was like a teddy bear that I had. It was kind of embarrassing, so I didn't really have it out much.
Like a plush?
Yeah, sort of. It was kind of like hard centered. Like I think at one point it was supposed to have like the ability to say something, but it doesn't work anymore.
Oh. So I keep digging to see if I can find it, and if not, then I will. Then we might conclude that it is in fact missing.
Yeah, you don't seem to find it at all. And she's like, oh, that kind of sucks though, because like I always kept it out there. And she like kind of like points to a spot on her desk.
Could it maybe it fell from your desk, and I check the room again, close to the floor now, to see if we can find the bear.
Yeah, you do find you find it because you notice when you start like getting down onto the floor that there's like, again with your flashlight, there's like a sort of big like glowiness happening behind her desk. You see this small like plush bear with like, there's kind of an opening that you can open up in the back for like batteries or whatever. You do find it.
Is that it? And I point to it.
Oh yeah, that's weird because I don't remember knocking that over. Well, I'm glad it's not missing though. And she picks it up off the floor and like kind of sets it back down on the desk. And you do notice there's like fingerprints all over this bear as well. Is it what?
Is there anything in it? Like,
Do you
I
like
suggest to
examine
her,
it?
like, she's holding it right now, right?
She set it back down on the desk where it belongs.
Right. You think there might be something in there?
Well, like I said, there is, and she like kind of like I said, there was like a hard thing on the center, and she like opens up the back, which is like a Velcro sort of situation. And like when you look inside, there's like a black thing that's like connected to some cords, which she like detaches a little bit when she pulls out. And this doesn't look like the sort of like white battery pack that is normally put inside of toys that like have like speech function. And looking at it, you see that there's kind of like a lens at the front of it. Like when she pulls it out, the inside of it has a lens that's barely noticeable.
Okay.
Does
Well-
Seth actually look like that?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, this is more Zack's thing. I'm not great with these sorts of things. Could be just a battery pack or some. Maybe they were working on some voice activity for the doll. Anyway, let's put it back in and we'll have Zack look at it.
Oh, okay. And she like puts it back in, and at that moment you kind of hear like as Jason and Zack come down the stairs, and you guys kind of reconvene after finding these things. Yeah, you're now regrouped in the kitchen area, I assume, because you guys are intending to go to the basement afterward together.
Yes.
Hey, Zack, I think we found something.
So did I. What did you find?
Well, we find some sort of device, maybe. I mean, I don't know about this stuff. So, anyway, yeah, maybe take a look at this, and I hand him the teddy bear.
Yeah, okay. So Zack takes it and like looks it over, and looks at what the electronic device inside of it, and he's like, that shouldn't be. Then he turns it around and he goes, oh, they were watching you.
In my room?
If that's where
man,
this was.
that's creepy.
That is creepy. Who gave you this?
I thought my mom.
Well, I mean, okay, wait. Maybe it's just one of those, they have the for
No.
babies, the sort of walkie-talkie systems, right? I've heard they were
baby
working
monitor?
on them with cameras. You can keep an eye on the baby, right?
Jimmy, I don't want to get too far into this, but I want you to not trust anything that you've received from your mother since you've been here.
Okay, I guess.
Wait, was this one of the gifts she sent you?
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of the gifts that she sent you, or is it something that you always had? And if it is something that she sent you, are there other gifts that we might have to look at?
This is one of the first gifts that she sent me after she left.
You're not wearing anything that she gave you, are you?
Just this necklace, and she kind of like pulls out, like kind of those like seashell beads. She has that, and there's like a little sort of gold pendant at the center of it. Why?
Can I take a look at it?
Okay. And she like goes like this, undoes the clasp, hands it over to Zack.
Before he risks like ruining her necklace, I'd like to get out like just the EMS and like see if it's giving off an electronic signal.
I'm gonna pull out my black light. That's what-
While he's doing that, I just start talking to Jamie again. Like, it's probably nothing, right? But we're investigating. It's
Just trying to diffuse the way
Yeah,
that
yeah.
she might be feeling at the moment.
yeah.
So pulling out the blacklight, Jason, you notice, similar to like what the other two notice, is that like down the hallway there's like some weird glowy stuff, and like pointing it at this at the necklace, you at least are relieved to find that this item has not been touched, but you do see that the friggin' the little device that they were talking about, kind of, it's just like there are prints like all over it, like probably recently handled in some way. Zack, you do immediately pick up a signal from the pendant on her neck.
Yeah, this is
What does that mean? Why is it
device.
doing that?
There's something inside here that's electronic. Based on the way it's rapidly spiking, I'm guessing it's sending out radio signals.
What does that mean?
I think if we want to take a look at the basement, we should be quick about it, maybe.
I'm pretty sure someone knows we're here right now. At least he knows you're here, but that you're supposed to be anyway, so it might be okay. At the least, we should leave this behind, but I could open it up and tell you what's actually inside it.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
He's going to get out his mini toolkit and try to disassemble it without breaking it.
All right, make a brains or like a flight sort of dexterity based check.
Yeah, let's do flight. I haven't done many of those.
Jason,
That is a 7.
Jason's going to be anxious seeing Zack open it and then ask, shouldn't maybe we do this somewhere where we can't be caught, maybe?
I mean, what are they going to do? We were invited by our friend Jamie here, right? It's her house.
I don't want to take it anywhere else with us. It might raise flags.
Okay,
I'm just
so
gonna get on guard then.
what did you get?
Ready.
I got a 7.
All right, yeah. Immediately, like, Zack has looked into this sort of thing, to an unhealthy degree, and you like open it up and you notice that there is indeed like what you would perceive with just your vision as a tracking device of some sort. You're able to it's kind of like a locket. You notice like a little pin that you can kind of open up the locket and it can be sealed again. So you are able to do that without breaking it.
So, yeah, see here, it basically what it does is it sends signals to radio towers that are nearby and gives its position to whoever has the right radio signal to look for.
Okay.
With this and the camera and everything else.
Okay, so we got a concerned mother who wants to know where her daughter is at.
It's not from her mother.
What do you mean it's not from my mom?
He means,
How do you know that?
Yeah, come on. Let's not
Your
rush
parents
to
both put it
conclusions.
together.
Let's check out the basement
Oh.
and then get out of here. And
Yeah, that's right. We
review
have more
everything.
important things to discuss right now. Let's focus on the job and then
Yes, and
All
then
right.
we go back to base. Let's call it headquarters. We should have a name for our headquarters. I know it's your room, Zack, but we need a cool name.
Karate Masters spy.
the mechanics station.
Castle.
Karate chop action.
Alpha
We'll think
Omega
about it.
quarters. I don't know. Never done this before.
Alpha Christ, but
That sounds pretty cool, though.
maybe you should combine.
Okay, let's go to the basement.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so you head through the kitchen towards the basement. Jamie opens it up first. You still have your device on you, or did you put that away? What are you doing?
The which device? The
Any of them? What are you, I'm more.
I still have the black light, at least.
Yeah.
I think I'm just using the light as we go down. I'll take things out as I need them. Although, actually, you know what? There's been a lot of radiation. I might as well have the Geiger counter out.
So you guys have 3 black lights and the Geiger counter out. Jamie opens up the door. You guys kind of all do that peering around down the stairs. The lights are off. You see a very narrow stairway that goes down with the wood paneling on the side. The wood paneling is just there's just streaks of fingerprints, almost like it's been dragged down there, and there's just a glow emitting from the downstairs as well. And your detection of radiation started going to 200 when you were just outside the door, before it opens. It spikes up a bit to 50, 250-ish. Doesn't quite reach the bathroom levels, but you do notice a glowiness coming from the basement. However, we're gonna end our session there, and we'll pick up what you guys find
going into the basement.
In the basement.
Oof.